Hi team, we're going to run through three really cool science applications, although the last one does evolve into a lot more than just science. I find I'm talking to a lot of science teachers at the moment, getting a huge amount of use out of the active panels, all in different ways. Here are just a few apps that I've found that hopefully will help you guys out with what you're trying to achieve. The first one is Toka Lab or Toka Elements. Toka itself does a huge range of applications, as you can see down here. Everything is Toka World, Toka Labs, Toka Plants, Toka Kitchen, Toka this, Toka that, Toka the other. I really like this one. It took me and my daughter 3 hours to work our way from one side of the periodic table to the other. So it was a really nice bit of bonding time for us, but more importantly, I think it's a really good introduction for kids into science experiments, into hypotheses and theories and all those sorts of things. It literally is a little science lab. We've got our element, which we've dragged out from our periodic table up here. And then we simply put it through a bunch of experiments. We've got a Bunsen burner, we've got a centrifuge, we've got something that'll electrocute it. We can freeze it, we can add some chemicals, and there's a magic box up here, which I haven't quite figured that one out, but I'd be keen for any feedback. And it really is as simple as, let's take our element, let's burn it and see what happens. So when we take that element, put it over a Bunsen burner, if this icon up here changes, we know we've created a new element. And if it doesn't, we don't. So, we're just running through a whole bunch of different experiments, or the opportunity to run through a whole bunch of different experiments, and the conversations that start and the inquiry that you can get out of this is really, really cool. Toka Lab Elements cost me about $4. I really recommend you have a look at it. The next one I want to get into is every science teacher I know knows this one. Typically they know it through the webpage. It's called PhET. It's done by University of Colorado, and it literally is just page after page after page after page of engaging, interactive science experiments, everything from mass and forces to chemical bonds to all that kind of stuff. All of these apps that I'm showing you today are reasonably internet heavy, so depending on what the internet experience is at your place, could have a bearing on the way that this works internally at your place. So just bear that in mind when you first have a crack at it. Let's have a look at net force as an example. The good old tug of war. Students can do this, so you can move multiple things as well at the same time. So the fact that the active panel is multiple touch, you can have several hands on this all at the same time doing the thing. So as you can see, I've set up my experiment. Let's see what the results are. Now we can add in some values. There's a lot of stuff in there for you guys to take advantage, or for the students to take advantage of, to support all their learning. Okay, so that's PhET, P-H-E-T. There is a website you can go through, or you can download the app, and as I say, I think it's around about $4 when I got it. The last one, Mosaic 3D. Now you might have seen perhaps the sun one, for example, or there's a really cool human body. These are all 3D interactive models, shall we say. The thing I really, really like about Mosaic 3D, this particular app, is the app that connects us to all their servers around the world. So we've got access to about 1,200 various models. And along the bottom here, you can see all the different categories. So it's everything from chemical biology through to the arts and culture, through to how does the Titanic sink, how does a helicopter fly, how does a Formula One tyre change happen. There is so much in here. Again, it's fairly internet heavy, so just bear in mind what your experience at your place is going to be like. But let's just quickly spin through here, and we'll grab this, archaeological excavation. It'll take a second just to load up, so while it's doing this, I'd just like to point out that it's actually a full-blown educational platform. If you go onto Mosaic 3D, the website, you can also see how the students can download what are called Mosa books onto their devices. You might have iPads in the school, so you can download those onto the iPad. It's an opportunity for the students to flick through and scroll through the various topic with these types of models that pop up on the way through. Now, I haven't quite dug deep enough to see if those books connect directly back to there and what kind of reporting might be on the back end, but simply as a tool that you guys can take advantage of, again, hugely engaging, getting more use out of the active panel, and an opportunity for you guys to step back and let the students step up and do their own inquiry. So this is an archaeological pit house, apparently. Not that I know a great deal about this. The various tabs on the bottom bring in various layers. We can engage with it in different ways. Crikey, there's me digging away in the hole. A lot of times as well, this particular application has quizzes and annotations and all these other things. There's layer upon layer upon layer upon layer on this. So Mosaic 3D, jump on the website, have a look, download the app. You can subscribe for like $100 a year, I think, and that just gives you full access. Alternatively, you get 5 free ones of these each week, so it could tie in really well with your teaching schedule. As always, if you've got any questions or queries, Heath at activision.co.nz. That's Activision, Activision, not the big gaming company. Heath at activision.co.nz. If you've got any questions or queries, drop me a line.